Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning, happy Monday. Today's start of a brand new trading week. Let me set this room up real quick and then we can get started. So let's see. Today's October 22nd and we're almost done with October. I feel like every time we come on this live session, it feels like the month just flies by. Let me just mute that real quick. Got this all set up right here. Nice. Looks like a couple of you guys are sending in your profits already pre-market, so that's pretty good. I did make a couple profits pre-market as well. Nothing too crazy, but we'll go over that shortly. So we got that set up right here. I'll get the Zoom link sent out to you guys here in the premium as well. All right. Looks like we're good. Sent out to you guys there. Finish setting this up real quick. All right, that looks good. I'm going to continue letting people in right now. So I'm going to give it a few minutes for people to make their way in before we start analyzing the charts for US 30. So let me just continue letting people in. It is 6:18 right now, so we do have some time. About 12 minutes till market open. Everything looks good right there. All right, cool. All right, cool. I'm gonna give it a few minutes, guys, for people to make their way in. Once everyone's in the room, we can start analyzing the charts for US 30. So I'll give it a little bit. So morning, guys. Happy Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. It's Monday, October 25th. So we're ready to get this trading week started. I see a lot of you guys messaging me right now with your profits pre-market. I did take a couple trades pre-market as well, which I normally don't do, but I was kind of bored yesterday. So I kind of just took some trades. So, looking at Eunice over here. So Eunice took some pre-market moves. He's in profit total of 475 this morning. Nice work, Eunice. Even myself, I took some trades yesterday. I kind of made the mistake because I was planning on just taking buys because the fundamentals were not fundamentals. The retail sentiment was like 78% short. So I knew it was going to come up and I was taking buys. I accidentally took a sell on open, which I meant to take a buy and ended up losing some profit right there. So unfortunately, I took a loss there, but then I made it right back. So obviously you can see I took a loss, but I climbed my way back up because, it's so easy to win last night. I was just taking a bunch of buys. And it happens. That's why I usually don't recommend people trade on their phone unless they absolutely need to. I was not at my computer. I was in the living room and I just ended up taking trades on my phone on accident. I accidentally hit sell instead of buy. I also marked up my charts yesterday too because I was looking at these liquidity zones. So I forgot where I entered that trade, but basically from this point right here, I just was like, oh, it's going to come up. And I pretty much rode this up this way. I accidentally took a sell somewhere over here. I forgot where it was, but it was a buy entry and I accidentally hit sell and then it ended up just spiking. I think it was right here, somewhere around this area. I was trying to take a buy right here. And then, with this buy signal, I accidentally hit sell and then it just shot up and stopped me out right away. But then when it came back down, I just bought back and that's how I made my profit back over here. So I lost like a trade there and then I made back right here. On this trade right here, I accidentally, I just made a lot of mistakes yesterday, guys. I was setting a TP. I should have set a TP because I was trying to just cover that loss, which would have been covered anyways. But what I was doing was I was trailing the stop, and I trailed it up to this point right here. And when it got to this point, I didn't close it out because I had no TP, and it came back down and it just stopped me out at about 1,000. So a bunch of mistakes made on Sunday, which I probably shouldn't have been trading on Sunday, but it's okay because I still made some profit regardless. So I'm gonna kick off this week today with no more mistakes, and I'm gonna be more focused with the trades that I decided to take. So morning Vishnu, morning Riga, morning Girish, morning Fahad, morning Jay, morning Matt, morning Adrian, morning Karen, morning Essa, morning Isai, morning Paul, morning Kushi, morning everybody. So hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Today's Monday, so I'm ready to kick off this trading week officially. We might be hitting a new all-time high. Let me check real quick. Possibly. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw we already have a line up there, but I'll draw another line here just so that we're aware. But yeah, this is going to be the all-time high right here. It's going to be 35,762. All right. So looks like the majority of people are here already. So I'll start analyzing shortly. Hey, Kenny, morning. Morning, Brian. Morning, Lisa. Yeah, looking at the news today, I don't think there's any news at all. That's kind of why I wanted to trade last night too, because there was just no news. So I figured, it'd be a good day to trade. One thing that you guys want to be careful of is that we're reaching the all-time high. I was looking at the pre-market news right here. To the 5 things to know. It's a Dow set to rise slightly after Friday's record close. This already happened. So you can see like the news here, it kind of just, it reports stuff like super late. It said it was going to rise and it already rose from, London session, pretty much from down here, Asia session, actually. Other than that, some Bitcoin news, Facebook news, big tech, more doc stocks lead this week's earnings. So it's earnings this week, I believe. So you guys want to be careful with that as well. We're probably going to see a lot of volatility, a lot of spikes in price, depending on, what earnings come out. I don't have the list with me, but I did see the list earlier. Other than that, there's some other news here regarding stocks making biggest moves in pre-market. None of these stocks are in the US 30, so they don't necessarily affect US 30 at all, aside from Pfizer. So basically this right here, there's updates with regard to Pfizer's new, their booster shot. So that was good news. So it's probably going to push price up. Other than that, there's nothing much else here. Looking at everything pre-market right now, everything's pretty much bullish. So the Dow futures are bullish. They're up 28 points. S&P's up. NASDAQ's up. Oil's up. The 10-year bond is down. So this is fine because usually the bond moves opposite of the stock market. So everything looks pretty bullish right now so far. Looking over here at the technicals, let's take a look. The 1 minute over here, we have I missed this trade right here, but it's okay because the market's going to open soon. So right here, we currently have a bullish bias. Reason for that is because price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. Looking at the 3 minute over here, same situation. I'm going to delete this stuff. Price is above the pivots and the trend meter is also green. Over here on the 10 minute, same situation. Price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. So looking at everything here, we have a bullish bias for the technicals. Looking over at the futures data, it's refreshing this right here. It's currently up 28 points. So that's pretty much bullish as well. Also looking over here at retail sentiment, it's 74% short. So everything's pretty much pointing towards a bullish bias because we have retail traders short right now. We have futures data indicating that market is bullish. Also looking at the technicals right now as well, everything looks pretty much bullish. Also looking at the 1 hour, it's bullish as well, right? So everything's pretty much bullish here. One thing that you guys want to be careful for is that when everything is pretty clear like this, where it's like obviously going to be bullish, we're probably going to see some sort of manipulation on market open. So what I probably see happening at 6:30 when the market opens is we're probably going to see some sort of manipulation to the downside, and then it's probably going to swing all the way back up. So that's something to look out for on market open. Market is opening in about 5 minutes. When the market does open, we'll confirm the fundamentals, which are probably going to be bullish. And then from there, we can decide, which direction we decide to take this for. But I think this is going to be a pretty bullish week overall with regard to fundamentals. However, just because it's bullish there doesn't mean that the chart's going to give us, a straight push to the upside. So key thing here is to be patient and to wait for actual entries. Don't just hop in a buy because you think it's going to go up, because obviously it's probably going to go up, but there's no guarantee it's going to happen like right away. There's probably going to be some sort of fake outs. They're not going to make it that easy for everyone to hop into the trades. So let me just scroll up real quick and see everyone else here. Morning, Professor. Morning, Miles. Morning, Peter. Let's see what else we got here. Morning, Orain. Morning, Sam. Morning, Dean. Morning, Kenny. Isai said, yo, I don't know if anyone here trades Bitcoin, but it's been moving beautifully. I definitely missed a lot of really good trades anyone could have took. I would probably be careful with Bitcoin. So everyone that here's the thing, guys. You hear a lot of people talk about, not just you said, but like a lot of people. You hear people talk about Bitcoin, about buying, and then as soon as they say something, it just crashes, right? I've seen so many people that were huge, big crypto, or they consider themselves big crypto people, and they'll call trades for cryptos, and then you'll see these people just disappear off the face of the earth. Like they'll disappear for a couple months once Bitcoin comes crashing down, and then they just pop back up like a little later and whenever it comes right back up. So I'd be careful with Bitcoin, guys. Unless you guys really know what you're doing with Bitcoin, then trade it. Otherwise, if you're just speculating, be very careful because Bitcoin is very, very volatile. I mean, we can even take a look at Bitcoin right now. Let's see, Bitcoin USD. I'm going to change this to, I was testing on another strategy right here. That's why it looks like that. But yeah, looking at Bitcoin right here, you can see how it just dumped right there, right? It's probably going to dump right back down again. So I'd be very careful if you guys are trading Bitcoin, unless you guys really know what you guys are doing. Because I don't even trade Bitcoin myself. That that gives you a little hint there that I don't find it very stable. So if you guys want to trade it, I mean, feel free, but be careful if you guys do decide to trade it. Morning, Gak. Good morning, Dejan. Morning, Al. Morning, Delmas. Morning, everybody. Dejan said, I got to stop at 10 so I can get Brave tickets. Nice, nice. Yeah. And you guys still got the Dodgers. Crazy, bro. Yeah, no, as I said, I know, and I never really into it too much, but I've done analysis for it some time now. Yeah, no, it's good to analyze it just so that you can understand how it's moving. That's pretty much how I got good at US 30. I just, trade it every day pretty much. But yeah, no, definitely. If you want to trade it SI, feel free, but use a small lot size if you do, because the last thing you want to do is end up getting caught in a trade. Because I've seen a couple people, they get caught in a trade and then it just spikes down. They never pull out and they end up blowing their account. So it's something to to be careful for. Roger's asking to show my 10-minute chart. I'll do it later, Roger. Market's about to open right now in 2 minutes. So I'm done with questions for right now. If you do have questions, just put them in the chat and I'll answer them later. So I'll come back to your question once we're done analyzing. Okay, Roger. All right, guys. So market is opening shortly. Our bias right now is bullish. However, we're going to see what happens when the fundamentals do open. I'm going to close the chat right now so I don't have anything to be distracted with. But yeah, okay, so here's the bullish move that we were looking at earlier. I don't think it's going to be a straight bullish move, though. I think this is probably going to fake people out because it's been bullish since London Open. So looking at this right here, from like pretty much midnight, or not even since Asia session, actually, right here, it's been super bullish. So it's been bullish all the way till now. We might get a spike to the upside, but I don't think it's going to be a straight shooter. I think what might happen is there might be some manipulation prior before it ends up pushing to the upside. But I do think it's going to push to the upside overall. So even if it does drop today, I think it's going to recover and it's going to swing back up with time, because we do have earnings coming out. So with earnings coming out this week, it's obviously going to be very bullish because I think it's going to be good news for a lot of the stocks in the US 30. Market's opening in about 30 seconds. So once the market opens right here, we will determine where the fundamentals stand, which I think are going to be bullish on market open. So we'll see here. Market is opening in 20 seconds. Going over here, all the futures are still pretty bullish right now so far. So once we have that, we can take a look. All right, 10 seconds till market open. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Market is now open. So here we go with that bullish push right there. Let's look at the fundamentals real quick, see where everything's sitting. I'll refresh this. So the fundamentals are pretty bullish. Obviously, this is what we were anticipating. We knew it was going to be bullish because the news indicated that. Looking at the daily average, it's currently up. Refresh this real quick. It's currently up 77 points. It's not very strong, but you can see how price is coming down. This is the fake out that I was mentioning before. This generally happens if like everything's pointing towards the upside. So you can see price coming down right here. Price is probably going to come down and then it's going to spike back up. As long as the fundamentals allow for it to. So the fundamentals are currently right now only 50 points in the green. If you guys remembered, we want this to be 100 points in the green or higher. So in order for us to take buys, we want that to be 100 points in the green. Right now, currently it's not 100 points, so the bias isn't very strong. You can see right here, price is obviously being manipulated to some extent because there's not that many stocks that are red right now. It shouldn't really be dropping like that. Looking over here at the actual stock index, everything's pretty much green for the most part. There's like a couple stocks here that are red, but they're not very strong, right? Goldman Sachs is up 3 points. Visa is up 2 points. Home Depot's up 1.5 points. Everything here is like less than a point, so it shouldn't really be pushing price down that heavily. But obviously, you can see right here, price is getting pushed down. It's doing exactly what I anticipated. I anticipated it to swing down and then swing right back up. And you can see right here as it swings back up, this might be confirming the, that bullish move. However, I probably wouldn't enter at this point just yet. There's just a lot of stuff going on in the market behind the scenes that you don't want to get caught in. However, if this does close right here, this might confirm the breakout. However, it's not going to be because we need a strong green candle here. So obviously you can see right there, no strong green candle, so no entry off that. It's 6:32 right now. So if the breakout doesn't happen in the next 3 minutes, then there's not going to be a breakout here. In order for us to have a valid breakout entry, we need a strong green candle here. So we need a green candle with little to no wick on the top side. Currently, we don't have that right now. So that's what we're waiting for. However, if we don't get that soon, then we're just not going to have a breakout. We're going to be looking for some scalps instead. All right, some news release right here. Let's see, NASDAQ rises ahead a big week of tech earnings. Dow hovers near record high. So it is pretty close to it. I mean, it's not that close, but it is pretty close to it. So looking over here, it's I mean, it is kind of close. Let me see. It's about less than 500 pips away from the all-time high. So as you can see right here, we're probably not going to have a breakout. I'll just close this out. So we're probably not going to have a breakout today, which is fine. You can see price is currently at the Asia high. It just rejected right off it. We'll see if it breaks below, if it continues to, if it breaks below and keeps dropping, or if it swings right back to the upside. But we'll see right here. So obviously you can see price is tanking right now. CNBC predicted that it was going to be bullish. Obviously it's going to do the opposite, like I mentioned. But I do think it's going to swing back up eventually. So looking at the stock index over here, it's currently 26 points in the green. Let's see if we refresh this right here. All right, so majority of the stocks are still green right now. However, you can see price is dumping, right? This is why I told you guys that we need to be patient and just wait, because it's probably going to swing right back up. So looking at this right here, here's the drop that we were anticipating, and this is what I was avoiding. So this is why I didn't enter any trades on the open, or I didn't want to be in anything, because this is exactly what we anticipated, this drop right here. And this is what I consider somewhat of a manipulated move, because I don't see it dropping that much. Looking at the actual index over here, in order for that to happen, this would need to be all red, right? Like literally this whole thing should be all red. There's actually more green stocks than red. And looking at the average over here, the average is still, well, now it's red, but it's not that red, right? Looking at the futures data, it's currently 37 points in the green still. So futures are still bullish. Looking at the average, it's currently 9 points in the red. It's not very red. This should be like negative 100, negative 200 for it to be dropping this much, right? This is a big, big drop right here. It's about almost 1,000 pip drop. So I'm probably going to see some sort of bounce coming soon. Let me see if I can zoom out from here. All right, so I'll just draw like a little zone down here. And you can see prices coming near it, right? Same with the 3 minute right here. You kind of see this whole area that price is rejecting off. It's that whole area right there. So if I turn this stuff off, you guys can see price came back to the low during London session. So this is London open right here. Price came down, and look where it rejected off, the same area right here during London, right? So I'm expecting a spike back up. Well, not maybe not a spike, but a recovery back to the upside. It might not happen right now. It might drop even further, but I do see it eventually happening. So there's a couple areas to look at right here. This area was like the low part of London session, and then we also have this area over here, which was Asia session. So there's a couple areas right here where price can probably drop to. I'll just mark these up right here as well. So if it breaks through there, it'll probably come over here, but it's probably not going to go to, I mean, we'll see, but there's no guarantee it's going to not happen or happen. Who really knows, right? So we'll see what happens here. Let me see why this one looks a little different. Oh, because I connected these two right here off the 3 minute. I connected this low and this low right here. So we're not in any trades right now, guys. We're just watching. But currently right now, you can see that price is just bouncing around, right? There's no real direction that's been set. It's currently set at 12 points in the red right now. However, looking at the actual stock index right here, they're kind of even. They're not very one-sided at all. There's a couple stocks here that started to turn more red. Johnson & Johnson turned red. Amgen, United Health, Procter & Gamble. Basically, all of these health stocks right here, healthcare stocks, basically they turned red. You know, it's probably regarding COVID and stuff like that. They released some news regarding the COVID vaccine for Pfizer. So maybe there's been an adverse effect with regard to the booster, which I'm not surprised. It'll happen. So anyways, just looking at this currently right now, it's still dropping down lower. So if it breaks below here, it'll probably drop down a little lower. Maybe not all the way down here, but maybe down to here, because there's still other areas here where price can bounce from. So I'm just drawing some zones right here to see where price is likely to bounce from, because I do see a bullish move coming after this. I don't think it's going to keep dropping forever, unless this drops heavily. If this drops to like negative 200 or negative 100 first, all the way up to like negative 200, then maybe it'll drop. However, looking at this right here, I'll just refresh this. There's no news really pushing price to the downside, right? CNBC hasn't released anything. Looking at the calendar over here, there's not really anything scheduled either. So we'll see what happens here, but I do think it's going to swing back up. So I would just be patient and wait for the move to happen. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a low right here, and I'm going to wait for it to provide maybe a double rejection. If I see a double rejection off it, then maybe I'll take it. However, we're going to be waiting for that to confirm. So this right here would technically be a sell entry if you're applying the pivot scalp strategy. However, we didn't take that trade because we're necessarily looking for a buy. Looking at this drop right here, let's see, this is 74% short. Let me refresh it. It's still 74% short. My guess right now is that they're trying to lure in some more sellers. They spike price down right here, hoping that people will bite onto this, because if people bite onto this, then more traders will enter onto the short side. They'll just chase it, right? And then once they chase it, they're just going to spike price all the way back up to stop them all back out. Because the thing is, all of the news right now, or not just right now, but the news for this entire week are indicating that the Dow is supposed to be bullish. Reason for that is because we have earnings coming out this week. So they're not, I don't know if there's anything coming out today, but there is earnings coming out this week, and it's obviously going to be pushing price up because everything's supposed to be pretty bullish. And you can see right here, the numbers are starting to decrease. It was like in the 20s. Now it's at 16, and it's probably just going to keep pushing up higher, because you can see Goldman Sachs is still up 4 points. Visa's up almost 3 points. Home Depot's up 1 point. Chevron's up 1 point. All the stocks right here that were red, they're currently now switching back to the green side, because everything here was negative 2 points. Now only Microsoft is down 2 points. Amgen's less than 2. Johnson & Johnson's less than 2. Procter & Gamble's less than 2. United Health is like less than 1. They were like the heaviest one earlier. So we might start to see a shift in price back to the upside shortly. I'll put the strategies right here for the ones that we'll be applying, so that you guys can follow along if you guys don't have or if you guys even have the strategies. This will help you guys follow along to see what we're looking for here. So what I'm looking for are some buys here, but not any buys. I'm just going to be looking for any possible entries as we, as we continue on. So there's a 3-minute daily, 3-minute pivot scalp. This would technically be a 3-minute pivot scalp right here, but I'm not necessarily going to take it. If we get a sell signal right there, I'm not going to take it, even though it's a valid sell signal for the pivot scalp, because I do see this swinging back up. Obviously I'm using different factors here. If you guys remembered, like my whole process here, guys, the technicals are the last thing I look at. I almost never look at technicals first. I look at the fundamentals, and I look at the retail sentiment, then I look at technicals. Technicals are the very last thing that I look at with regard to entering a trade, because obviously I want to trade in the proper direction. Even though it looks tempting to enter a sell here, I'm not going to enter the sell because I don't want to get caught in any of these fake outs here. So here's the daily strategy right there as well. We'll mark this up right here. And in order for me to take a sell, this needs to be negative 100 points. So it's currently negative 46 points. It's getting close to that point, but it's not at that point yet. So the reason why I don't want to take a sell here is because retail sentiment is currently 70, now it's 73% short. But it's still heavily on the short side. So with a lot of retail traders on the short side, I don't want to chase that move and then get caught on the opposite side of the market when it starts to swing right back up. So main thing here that I'm looking at is when retail sentiment is super strong, biased one direction or the other, I don't want to trade in that direction unless fundamentals are clearly pointing that direction. Right now, it's not clear, right? It's only down 46 points. We want it to be negative 100 points. Better yet, like more than negative 100 points for me to trade in that direction. However, right now it's only like negative 37 points. So what I do see happening here is I see a fake out coming to the downside, and then I see it swinging right back up eventually with time. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here. Let me look at this sell right here. Let's see. This was a rejection. 1, 2, 3. That's not a valid low. So this is going to be the next low. So yeah, I'm going to wait for it. I'm pretty much just going to wait for it to swing up because I don't think this sell is going to hold. I think it's going to swing back up with time. They're just looking to lure in some more sellers right here, but it looks like a lot of people aren't biting on because right now, currently they're 73% short. It was 74 earlier. It was about 78 last night. So last night when I was taking all those buys, I was taking buys because the retail sentiment was so short, 78%. And it's just, you know, it's a matter of waiting, guys. You guys don't want to jump the gun and hop into the trade too early before it swings up. And you can see right here, price is starting to swing to the upside. So just be careful. And I don't recommend anyone take any sells. I know it looks tempting. You guys see a lot of these spikes in price to the downside, but I see these all as fake outs right here. They're basically trying to fake people to the downside. You can see price now ranging within this area right here, but I'm going to be waiting for that to swing above. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to close above here without touching this high right here. So I need price to break above it and close with one shot. When that happens, then I'll take the buy using the high-low scalp strategy. On top of that, if price ends up closing above the pivots, then I'll be looking for a buy using the pivot scalp strategy. But this is cool. I don't mind that it keeps dropping like this. I actually prefer it to drop like this because I want some more cushion between here and the all-time high, because the all-time high is like right over here. We're pretty close to the all-time high. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a horizontal line. And this is going to be 35,762. All right, perfect. We got that all set up right there. Just going to lock that in place so it doesn't move. All right. So yeah, this is what I'm looking for, guys. I'm looking for price to close above here without touching it. Or if it does touch, it needs to break and close off that specific touch. So if price breaks and closes above there, then I'll be looking for a buy. Other than that, we'll see what's next. I'm gonna turn on all my alerts right here. Alerts are good. Now I'm just waiting for that confirmation. So we'll keep watching this here. 3-minute over here. There's no entry off that. Sell signal never closed. You can see price came down, rejected off this zone that I drew down here. And then it just bounced right off it. Looking at the 10-minute over here, I'll see if there's any zones around this area. So Roger, I think you're still here, right? So you had problems with drawing the zones. Basically, the way that you draw your zones here is you turn on the K2SR indicator, and then you just draw your zones like that. If they overlap, you can create another zone. So just create one bigger zone. So that's one zone right there. Same with this one over here. Zone right there. Same with this one over here. There's a zone right there, but you can see that it overlaps with this red one. So you can just create one big zone right there. So those are pretty much all of the close by zones. Turn this off. And that's pretty much all that we have at this specific moment. So let's see if there's anything else over here right now. Nothing off the 10-minute, nothing off the snipe, nothing off the 3-minute, nothing off the 1-minute over here. We're just looking for this to close above here. Or the high actually got lower. So as you can see, the range is starting to tighten a little bit, which is a good thing. We want this to tighten so that we don't have such a big gap in between where price is ranging from. Dean's question is, do you always put your SR zones when scalping? I never use SR zones when I'm scalping, Dean. I only use the SR zones when I'm on the higher time frames, like the 10-minute or the 4-hour. But I never use them off the 1 minute here. I mean, you can use them if you want. I've seen other people use them. I've used them in the past, but I don't necessarily use them myself anymore because there's just too much noise on the lower time frames. You'll see price break and close past them a lot. But if you want to use them, I mean, you can. They're still helpful. It's just I don't like the messiness on the chart. I'd rather have it a lot cleaner where I don't have all the stuff like in the way. Because if I turn on the zones right here, there's just too much stuff going on the chart, right? There's too many things. So that's why I turn it off. But what you can do is you can draw your zones over it, and then you can just turn it off like I normally do here on the 10-minute. So if that's what you want to do, you can do it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I personally don't do it myself. I've seen other people do it though. So there's nothing wrong with it. It does help. All right, let me see if there's anything else here. So looking at the fundamentals, it's currently 40% or 40 points in the red right now. Let's see, Dow slips from record highs, climb ahead. Sorry, Dow slips from record highs ahead of tech earnings, energy stocks climb. So right now there's earnings that were released. That's why price is starting to spike around like that. Obviously it's going to have to recover at some point, right? Refreshing this right here. Looking at this, we have, I mean, it's just right down the middle. So there's not very much. It's not one-sided at all. It's kind of just back and forth. So looking at this over here, I'm still looking for a buy. Personally, I'm still looking for a buy. Another reason for that's because they released bad news about the Dow, right? So CNBC just released bad news about the Dow, saying that it's slipping from its record highs. With this said, I think this is going to be, obviously, when they see this, people are going to hop onto the sells. And then when you least expect it, price is just going to spike all the way back to the upside. So I'm still looking for something bullish off US 30. So I'm not looking for any sells right now. In order for me to look for sells, like the most important thing is I need this to be like at least more than 100 points in the red. So this needs to be red 100 points or more than that to be consistent. Because the reason for that is that the retail sentiment here is just too short, right? If this starts to shift towards like 60% short, then yeah, I'll start looking for some sells. But currently right now, there's just not enough people who are on the other side. Last thing I want to do is hop onto this with a lot of these short traders and then end up getting faked out when price starts to spike back to the upside. So just, just be careful if you guys do decide to trade this on the short side, because I'm not going to trade on the short side. I already learned my lesson yesterday when I did that on accident. So we'll be waiting. I mean, there's nothing here really for us to look at currently. We're still looking for any possible entries. You can see price just continues to test this area down here that I drew up, this lower zone on the 3-minute. Price pretty much tested it a couple times and now it's swinging back up. Going back to the 1 minute over here, pretty much the same thing. Price is starting to bounce right back up from this point. Still looking for the same thing here, guys. I'm looking for price to break and close above this line right here. If it breaks and closes above there, then I'm probably going to be expecting some sort of push to the upside. But it's just a game of patience, guys. It's a game of waiting for that to actually happen and not entering a buy down here. Because I know it's tempting to enter a buy down here because you guys do expect that to come to the upside. However, the last thing you want to do is enter a buy and then it ends up dropping further, which could happen. Because the thing is right here, looks like the market makers kind of failed with their attempt to lure in some more sellers, because this was 74% short on open. Now it's only 71% short because a lot of people are getting scared and pulling out of the short position. What I was anticipating here was that they spike price down and they try to keep dropping it lower and lower so that more short sellers will enter the market, so that when they do spike it up, they'll make more money, right? Because they make more money off stopping people out. That's how market makers make money, by stopping out the retail traders. And brokers don't care, right? Because brokers don't care if you guys are winning or losing, because they still make money off commission. So your broker doesn't care whether you're winning or you're losing. They'll push price wherever it needs to go with regard to making them more, because obviously they know when people lose trades, they revenge trade, right? The more that people revenge trade, the more commissions they make off people. So You guys got to think of it from a bigger picture. A lot of people think that the broker's on your side. Broker's never on your side. Broker doesn't care if you win or lose because they still get paid commissions one way or the other, whether you win or you lose. So you guys just got to be careful and you guys got to understand that. So other than that, I'm still waiting for this to swing up. Going over here to the fundamentals. Currently, it's still 30 points in the red, and now it's 23 points. So you can see the numbers starting to shift back up, right? It was prior, it was like 50 points in the red. Now it's getting less and less as it starts to, push towards the direction that we're looking for. Because personally, for me, I'm waiting for this to swing back up. But if that doesn't happen, that's completely fine because I'll just keep waiting for it to swing back up because I know it's going to swing up eventually. It's just a matter of time. So looking at the futures data now, futures data is currently 44 points in the red. Looking at the average right now, currently 23 points in the red. Looking at the stock index right here, refreshing this. It's kind of just right down the middle, right? There's actually more stocks that are green. It's just that, or actually they're kind of right down the same. You can see they're about the same too. So Visa's up 2 points. Goldman Sachs is up 1 point. Home Depot's up 1 point. Chevron's almost up 1 point. Everything else down here is pretty much the same thing. Visa, American Express, they kind of cancel each other out because they're both like about 2 points. Microsoft and Goldman Sachs cancel each other out. Honeywell, Home Depot. And you guys can see the difference here, right? It's just flatline for the most part. Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to wait for this to confirm here. All right. So as you can see, price is starting to move to the upside. In order for me to take this, price needs to close above this line here. It can't touch the line. If it touches the line, then there's no go. It needs to close above it. So it needs to push above it and close. If it touches it and it comes back down, then there's no establishment there, right? We're going to have to wait for the new high here to be established. So look at this specific candle right here. If this candle right here closes, then this would technically be a solid buy. But now it's kind of, now I'm a little worried about this trade here because this candle's so big. I was hoping it was going to be so huge, but, we'll see. So if you guys want to take this trade, it looks like a good trade, but I would say, take it at your own risk because the problem is it's getting close to this Asia high right now. And what might happen is it might just reject off this point right here as well. So I was hoping that it wasn't going to close so strongly. I was hoping that it was going to be like a normal candle, but if you guys want to take it, you guys can take it. Just be careful if you guys do decide to take it. There, never mind. There's no entry there. Actually, there is. So looking at this right here, if you guys want to take it, I hopped into it myself. So I'm currently in the position. I entered when it came back down right here. See, it's moving too fast. Too many windows open right now. Let's see this right here. All right, TP hit. So it already hit my TP right there. That was kind of why I was focused for a second there. It moves too fast, guys. So like the thing with this, I wasn't trying to enter it if it closed above here, but it closed down here. So that's where it classified as, a valid entry. The reason why I didn't want to enter from up here, because if I entered from up this point, it would have got close to this Asia high and it would have came down, but price closed below here. So that's why I entered the trade. So I made a quick profit off that. Man, that thing was like, it was dancing around my my TP and it didn't close out. So I was going to close it out manually. However, I had so many windows open right here where I couldn't close out of it. So I just let it hit TP. I'll give you guys a little update in the group right now with those profits to show you guys exactly what we're looking for right now, or what I just locked in. That was a quick move, like super quick. So I made about 1,030 off that trade right here. What did I do? Sorry, guys. I accidentally clicked go offline for whatever reason. Well, I made a lot more on my other account, actually. So here, I'll just give you guys a little update in the group for those of you who are quick enough to catch the move there. So as you guys can see, things can change really quickly. Like for example, here, if price closed above here, I wouldn't have taken the trade, but price closed below here. So we had a lot of space to reach this move right here, and that's why I took it. This is why we were being patient about waiting for this buy here. So here, let me give you guys a little update in the group so that you guys can see, and then I'll send my profits right after that as well. Man, what a quick move right there. That was super quick. Let's see. So looking at that right there, 1 minute. And that's what patience is all about, guys. If you guys are patient, you guys can wait for these moves here. You guys can make a ton of profit. So let me just give you guys, I'm going to take my screenshot already. Okay, we're good. And this is another reason why it's important that you guys have the indicators and you guys have access to the strategies, because this will make a huge difference if you guys are able to follow along and take it right away. So looking at this right here, this is what I locked in. So as you can see, the same trade that I told you I was looking for and I was anticipating to take, I did take it. That's why right here I locked in a total of 1,030. So for today on this account, I'm up 1,460. And then off my copier account, I made 1,230 off this one, and I'm in profit a total of 1,560. So great work amongst everyone here who caught it. If you guys have profits to share, send them in the group and I'll add them to the list here. So nice profits to officially kick off K² trading week. All right. So there goes our first official profit for this week off the live session. Let me just forward this over to the other groups over here. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, this is why you guys have to be really patient, because I knew this was going to happen, right? This whole morning, I told you guys it was going to shoot up, and what happened? It shot up. It's just about being patient, waiting for that perfect entry. You know, we waited a long time, almost an hour, or not an hour, maybe like 30 minutes. So like 20 minutes, we waited right here and it just kept dropping. I was like, bro, it's going to come up. And it finally came up. And when it closed above that line that I've been telling you guys about, look what happened. Huge to the spike, a huge spike to the upside. I probably could have held it longer, but the reason why it closed out was because this right here, right? You guys got to be careful and be smart about your trades. There's no reason to be getting greedy. You know, as long as you guys keep winning and you guys avoid losses, you guys could be able to, you know, blow up the account. I'm not blow up the account, but grow your account over time. So, all right, everything looks good so far. Let's look at everyone's profits. So let me just scroll down over here real quick. Eunice took the trade as well. He's in profit 1,022. Nice work, Eunice. Big congrats to you. Patricia over here as well. She locked in a total of 1,291. Great work, Patricia. Looking at Maddie over here. Maddie locked in a total of 1,148. Great work, Maddie. Maddie said, done for the day. I'm going back to sleep. Vegas got me exhausted. Yeah, take a break, Maddie. You made your profit for the day so far. I see your question right there, Scott. Kenny, so I'll take a look at your question shortly. A professor over here as well, locked in a total of 699. Great work, professor. Looking over here, the rest of the group. So let's see, Albert locked in a total of 3,254. Great work. Albert. Angela locked in a total of 2,604 off GJ. Nice work, Angela. And again, off our other account, 1,385. Amazing work right there, Angela. Patricia locked in a total of 1,291. Nice work, Patricia. Sisuk here locked in a total of 1,715. Nice work, Sisuk. His other account, 4,111. Great work, Sisuk. My cousin Jose over here locked in a total of about 600. Nice work, Jose. Brian over here locked in a total of 2,290. Great work, Brian. Lisa over here locked in a total of 1,181. Great work, Lisa. Paul over here locked in a total of 614. Nice work, Paul. Tommy locked in a total of 2,719. Great work, Tommy. So as you guys can see, these are all different people in the group who locked in profit off that one trade right there. It's not just me. There's like hundreds of people in the group who are locking in the same profit off the same trades that we're taking here. Narith over here locked in a total of about 6,000. Nice work. Or that's more than that, actually. He's up about 8,000 for this morning. Great work, Narith. Isaac here locked in a total of 205. Great work, Isaac. And then the profits keep coming, right? So people keep sending their profits. Kip over here as well, locked in 10,000 for the day. Amazing work right there, Kip. And RJ over here currently up 1,605. Great work, everybody. So everyone's been killing it. Andy over here too. So Andy locked in a total of 1,475. Great work, Andy. Anything else over here? let's see, I think this is CJ, right? So CJ over here locked in a total of 4,584. Great work, bro, man. You guys are all killing it so far today. And you guys can see there's more profits coming in. Jez over here as well. So Jez locked in a total of, so if you just add these up, looks like he's up 100, like about 500 right here in total. So nice work, Jez. Maddie as well. Maddie took another trade off his other account, 4,190. He's on his MFF. That's why the lot size is so big. On MFF, the lot sizes are different. So great work, Maddie. Cern over here too. Cern's currently up 906 euros. Great work, Cern. All right, guys. So everyone did pretty good so far. Great work amongst everyone here. Let's see. Kenny said, Shawn, I tried to take the buy on MT4, so I didn't have enough money. You need what broker are you using, Kenny? You need at least 1,000 if you're using like He Goes Away. Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, because if you have 157, that's like way too little of a account size to be trading US 30. Yeah, you have your capital is way too low. Kenny, I think the bare minimum that you can have to trade Hugo's Way is like maybe like 300, but you're gonna get like automatically margin called out of your trade as soon as you enter, because you need at least 1,000 to trade off Hugo's Way. So your broker, you need way more capital to be trading on that broker. You might want to try something like CoinEx. CoinEx would be a broker for you. They use micro lots. All right, guys, good work, man. Everyone's killing it. Damn, everyone's on fire. Just looking at everyone's profit so far. I mean, a lot of you guys did better than me. So I only made like 1,500 off that, 1,500. So if you add both of my accounts up, that's why I don't really take huge lot sizes, because I have two accounts. So like 1,460 plus 1,560. So total of 3,000 across both my accounts. I didn't pull some Kip numbers over here. Kip logged a total of 10,000 total off these. He's using basically the same account as me here. So definitely great work right there, Kip. So looking at this right now, we're looking for some more entries. That's it with the profits for now. Yeah, nothing here off the 3-minute. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna delete these, or I'll leave it on there for now, I guess. But you guys can see how perfectly it bounced off that point, right? The points that I drew earlier. Nothing off the 10-minute, nothing off this either as well. So everything else here is looking good. Let's see this right here. I don't have a third account yet. I'm probably going to open an account with MFF, because a lot of you guys are using it. I just want to make sure that they're like legit, right? Because the last time I tried to use Funding Talent, because everyone else was using Funding Talent, I got scammed by them. They didn't even return me my challenge fee. So I'm not really like, obviously I could just open an MFF account and just copy my trades over and I'll be fine. But I just don't want to deal with the whole issue again of me not being paid out and Funding Talent scamming me, not wanting to pay me anything. So it's just draining, right? Because I've been with FTMO for like over a year now, or maybe 2 years now. I never had any issues with FTMO. It's why I always stick with FTMO. There's a lot of sketchy funding companies out there. It's why I don't necessarily try anything else. I just stick with FTMO. If MFF does prove to be legit, then I'll use it. The only problem with MFF is that you can't trade during Asia session. I like to trade during Asia session, so that's going to be a bit of an issue with me. Lisa said I trade during Asia with MFF. I heard the spread is really bad though. So if the spread is like super wide, you can't really scalp with MFF, because I tried to scalp with them. You go into like negative like 60 pips. Yeah, 360 pips is way too much. Jay just said that the spread's super wide. Our TP is 100 pips. So if the spread is 360 pips, then it's like impossible, because you have to go from 460 pips to like get out of the trade. So you're basically going for like a crazy move off that. So yeah, I don't even bother with it, because I've tried it before and it just isn't fun. Because the thing is, you're trying to go for a scalp, which is a quick move, but the spread's so wide that you have to go for like 5 times the move to even get out of the position. So Yeah, I don't know. Peter's asking, what's the MFF spread during New York? I don't have MFF, so I don't really know, but maybe someone else here can answer that question for you, because I personally don't know. Oh, gotcha. Okay, 160. Yeah, thanks guys for that information, because I had no idea. I haven't really tried it out. Yeah, the spread is like not so bad. I mean, it's still pretty bad. It's not horrible, but it's still a lot wider than FTMO from like my perspective. So that's why I just stick with FTMO, because I like to scalp. All right, guys, let me just scroll up real quick. I'll see if there's any other questions here that I missed. All right, so what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to close the chat. I'm going to look for some trades here. At the end of the session, once I'm done trading, I'll answer the rest of the questions. I do see your question there. Like whoever asked the question earlier, I do see your questions here. So I'm going to come back to it a little later. So let me just look for some trades here. And then once I'm done trading, I'll answer some questions for you guys. All right. Okay, so if you guys are asking questions on YouTube, I'm not on the YouTube, I'm on the Zoom right now. So I'm not really answering any questions off the YouTube. I'm answering everything off the Zoom. So if you guys are on the YouTube and watching this, I'm probably not going to get to your questions. If you guys do have questions, put them in the Zoom, because we have a lot of questions here off the Zoom. Obviously, Zoom has priority. So if you guys are asking questions on the YouTube, I'm not going to get to them. I probably won't even get to them by the end of the day, because there's too many questions here. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. So you can see prices starting to come right back down. Looking over here, let me go and just refresh this. Fundamentals are currently 22 points in the green right now. Looking over here at the Dow is currently up. Yeah, Goldman Sachs is up 3 points. United Health is up 2 points. Visa is up 2 points. Chevron's up 1 point. Walt Disney's up 1 point. Everything's pretty much green for the most part here. I mean, there's like a couple stocks here that are red, but they're not really that red, right? There's like 3 stocks here that are 1 point in the red. Microsoft's 1 point in the red. Amex is down 2 points in the red, but everything else is less than 1 point. So it's not very strong. Looking over here, the green stocks obviously overpower the red stocks right now. Looking at futures data, it's currently up 46 points. Daily average currently up 26 points. Looking over here at the retail sentiment, you can see the retail sentiment is now short again, right? Which is great. That's perfect for us, because I want to keep taking buys anyways. So they can keep entering these short sides, and I'll keep entering these buy sides. Like, it doesn't really make a difference for us, because we're looking for buys anyways. All right. So let's see what happens next. Looking at this over here, nothing off the 10-minute. There's a possible snipe that's coming up right here. So possibly a snipe right there. I don't think I'll take this trade though, because I'm looking for the confirmation. Like, we still don't have the fundamental confirmation here yet. Like, I'm looking for this to be 100 points in the green, but we don't have that yet. So if you guys do want to take this trade, I mean, you guys are welcome to. However, I'm not going to take it myself. I'm just going to be waiting for the confirmation of the bias. So I'll leave it marked up here, whoever wants to take the trade. I mean, if you guys know the strategy, you guys are already probably taking it yourself anyways. But I'd rather take the smaller scalps in between. So what I'll do is I'll just leave this there. And then I'm going to be looking for the scalps off these lower time frames, because I'm still looking for buys. It's just not necessarily on the higher time, because I don't want to tie up too much margin off of this move here. So I'll just have this marked up right here. And it is pushing up. So if you guys are in the position, it's looking good so far. Minute snipe, full TP. Yeah, so if you guys want to take it at your own risk. I don't really want to take any big moves here, because we don't have the fundamentals on point yet. Once we have the fundamentals on point, then I'll take a trade like that, because I only want to trade when you know everything is almost guaranteed to push in that direction. Right now, the daily average is only 31 points in the green. If this was up 100 points, then yeah, I would for sure take that that buy there off that 10-minute. However, it doesn't look like a good trade right now currently, because price is just kind of bouncing back and forth, right? I was going to say something that I probably shouldn't have said, but it's kind of just bouncing around back and forth right here. on the lower time frames, because there just isn't any confirmation yet, right? The thing is, we took the buy earlier because there was an actual entry that was available and we were looking for the buy. However, right now there just isn't anything for us to really be focused on. Price is currently just, bouncing back and forth. It's not necessarily pushing up higher. Although I'm looking for this to push higher because the retail sentiment is still currently 74% short. So what I might do is I might revisit that 10-minute later. And then if I see a later entry where I can get in, at a discount, then maybe I'll get in. But currently right now, the only things I'm looking at currently are going to be the 1 minute and the 3 minute, because I'm looking for those quicker moves. Until price has really decided its direction, right? If I go over here to US 30 off the 1 minute, let me just show you guys like a clean chart to show you guys that direction hasn't really been established yet, right? So let me just take everything off the chart. We'll go on the 1 minute and I'll just turn everything off. So turning everything off right here, I'm going to mark up 630. So this is the reason why I wouldn't enter any specifically long trades right now. Because if you guys can see from 630 up until now, there's like literally no direction that's been set, right? So let me just scoot this over. There's no direction, right? Prices come down, then prices come up, then prices come down. Then what, right? At this point, then what? Is price going to keep dropping lower, or is it going to come right back up? So until price has, determined its direction, then I'm not going to really be married to a position, right? I'm not going to be married to a buy. I'm not going to be married to a sell. I'm going to be waiting for that confirmation for price to either be a buy or a sell. I'm not necessarily trying to just take sells or take buys right now because the fundamentals still haven't confirmed. And hopefully this illustrates for you guys how indecisive price is, right? Because a lot of people don't see this right now. They think, oh, price is going to keep dropping or price is going to keep pushing up. But if you actually look at this, you can pretty much tell that price isn't really moving directional at all. If you go to something like, let's go back to last week, right? On the 22nd. So last week on the 22nd, I think this was Friday. You can see right here that price kind of did the same thing, right? Price came up, then it came down, then it came right back up, right? There's no direction set there. When you guys want to trade, you guys want to be trading when there's a direction set. So let me see. I don't think there was really much of a direction at all last week. It was kind of just bouncing back and forth. But I want to show you guys an example of like when you guys want to be looking for a directional trade. Like even last week, see on Thursday too, there just wasn't really much of a direction. The entire week last week was kind of choppy. That's why we were just taking trades in both directions. Right here, it's just going sideways. There's no direction to the upside or the downside. The day before that, I know there was like one day where it was actually pretty smooth. I think it was Wednesday right here. So right here at 6:30, this is when market opened. And look at this smooth move to the upside, right? Smooth move up, consolidation, continuation to the upside. This is where you guys want to trade. You want to trade when price is going directional. Bullish, consolidation, bullish. It's not like bullish, drop back down, back up. That's how the market is right now. So this is where you want to trade, where you can make a lot of money because you just wait for the perfect conditions. This is where you don't want to trade because price hasn't really chosen a direction. It's going down, it's going up. Last thing you want to do is enter a buy and then price continues to drop lower, or vice versa. You enter a sell and price just ends up pushing straight up, right? And that's why you guys got to be patient with these entries here because you don't want to get caught in these moves. It's so easy to get caught on the wrong side, especially if you're not sure what direction to be trading in. So currently right now, I'm not sure, obviously. Let me see how much did this drop right here. It's a decent drop, but not far enough. Currently right now, looking at the fundamentals, it's still right down the middle, right? It hasn't really pushed 100 points in the green or 100 points in the red. It's just right down the middle. So at this point right here, this is just a point for us to just be watching. So looking back at the 10-minute here, you can see the 10-minute is like super messy. And this is exactly why I didn't enter the trade because there's no direction that's been set. Once I have direction set, then I'll take the trade. Currently right now, there's nothing here. Refreshing this right here. The retail sentiment hasn't really changed at all. People have entered on the short side and they just waited. I personally want this number to increase. So the more that this number right here increases, the bigger the spike in the other direction. So it's just going to be a matter of time for that spike up to happen, because I do think it's going to spike back up. And that's basically what's happening right here, right? So price is currently at this Asia high. Let me check the fundamentals. This would technically be an entry using the pivot scalp strategy. I want to take this for like a small move. You guys want to be careful if you guys take this. Actually, this is a really big candle, so I don't know if I'm going to take it. So this is what I don't like. I don't like when it's such a big candle because it's going to have to retrace down a little bit. So let's see. Yeah, it's too big of a candle. I'm not going to take a trade. So this is way too big. The problem with these candles right here, when it pushes up too high like this, is that it's going to have to retrace down a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this. If it swings back up, then maybe I'll hop in for a late entry. But if it doesn't, then I'm just going to wait, obviously. So I'll be watching it to see if it swings back up. And I'll put like a buy stop right there. That's what I'll do. I'll put a buy stop right there and I'll just catch it on its way up. All right, so I'm gonna put a buy stop right here. If it pushes up, it's gonna trigger my order and it's just gonna push it to the upside. Oops. Oh, I already hit it. Okay, so it just hit my TP. So what I did, guys, was I can't even put the alert there because I already entered the trade. So what I did, guys, like I mentioned, I put a buy stop right there so that when price was below here, when it pushes up, it triggers it and automatically hits TP for me. So that's exactly what I did. I entered late like I did last time. This is the only time I put buy stops, guys. If I wait for that pullback and I'm looking for it to swing back up to hit my TP. So I'll take a screenshot of this and then I'll send you guys the profits off that so far. And that was really quick. I didn't even get a chance to put the alert up. Literally as soon as I put that right there. All right. So this is a 1 minute pivot. I'll take a screenshot of my profits off of that as well. So this is like key as well, guys. If you guys are trying to enter these trades, you guys have to be paying attention to these trades here. So yeah, I made about 1,150 off that trade, and then off my other account over here, I put it down. It's like minor off the other. So let me just send you guys my profits as well. All right, I'm doing pretty good today to kick off the trading week. Even with that loss from yesterday, if I didn't take that loss yesterday, I would have been like way up higher. So like, here's the trade right there. It was the buy right there. You can see right here, I made 950 off that one off here. I don't know why it stopped me out like a lot earlier than this one, but I only made 950 off that one. My other count, I made 1,150. So in total right now, I'm probably up close to 5,000 for the day, which is not bad at all. You know, you guys just have to be you guys have to be really quick if you guys are going to be entering these scalps. That's why it's important that you guys have the indicators so that you guys can have this open on your chart. You guys are waiting for the entry to happen. Highly volatile days like this, or, you know, this is what's going to happen a lot of the times. And you guys got to get in and out quickly. So you can see right here, it has the green line, right? Because it hit my TP. You guys can't get greedy because, for example, here, if you got greedy and didn't pull out of the trade when you were supposed to, you know, I had my TP set right there. If you got greedy and didn't pull out when you were supposed to, then you would have gotten caught in this right here. I mean, technically would still be in the trade, but you would get caught in this spike to the downside right here. So you guys got to be very, very careful, and you got to be very on point with your trades. So lock in another profit off that K2 1 minute. All right, so this week's been pretty good so far. Even with that accidental loss, I'm still doing pretty solid for the most part. All right. All right, looks good. I think CJ here locked in some profits too. Yeah, so Professor over here locked in a total of 539 right there. CJ over here locked in a total of 5,080. Yeah, you're killing it, bro. So CJ over here is on point, 5,080 in profit right now. Great work, bro. Anything else here? I think that's it for right now. If you guys have more profits to send in, just add them to the list or send them over and I'll add them to the list for today's profit posting later. So now we're going to be looking for some more trades as we continue on. See, I'm going to move this over right here. And I'll move this back above here as well. So I'm still looking for buys here, guys. Even though like price is coming back down, I'm still looking for buys here. There's no strong buys here, so I'm not really I'm not like set on like one position. That's why I didn't want to take the 10-minute here because there's no confirmation yet that it's going to keep pushing up. I'm okay with taking these smaller moves, but for the bigger moves, there just isn't much of wiggle room right there, right? For me to go for the bigger moves because there's no confirmation. Looking at the retail sentiment, it's currently 75% short. So with the number increasing right here higher and higher, it increases my likeliness to take buys. So with this set right here, I'm going to keep taking more buys. I'm going to keep waiting for some more buys to happen. And then I'm just going to continue on with this. Let me see. I just saw that you guys' messages in the in the trading mentors group. Kyle, I saw Kyle's message. All right, guys. So going back to the charts over here, let's see if there's anything else. All right, it's getting close to 7:30. So as we pass 7:30, if I don't see any good entries, then I'm just going to be holding off for the rest of the session here. Because it is a really risky Monday. Like obviously we took the buy there and it was a risky buy, right? It was a quick little move to the upside. But we got in and out really quickly. So like looking at this right here, full TP off that. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else for me to look at here. Essa just sent her profits in or his profits. So Essa sent the profits in real quick, 74. So not bad, Essa. Essa sent on a small account to get discipline down, then back to FTMO. That's smart. If you guys have to, go back to a smaller account and just make your way up, right? You don't have to go straight into the big profits right away. What you have to do sometimes is just build your confidence. And then once your confidence is good, then you can continue on. Let's see, Kyle over here locked in a total of 1,451. Nice work, Kyle. Yeah, so great work amongst everyone here. Seeing everyone profit on a Monday like this is good because then you guys kick off the trading week on a great note. Guys, right? So on Monday with because you want to start off the week good. If you start losing on a Monday, you have a shitty week, right? You're going to feel good. You're going to be scared to take trades all throughout the week. If you have a good Monday, that's going to set you up for success for the rest of the week. That's why for me, I'm very careful about the trades I'm taking. This accidental loss over here, this kind of bummed me out a little bit because I was like, damn, this was supposed to be a buy. You can see all my trades are all buys, but I accidentally hit sell off that. So I was kind of bummed off that. But when I made my profit back, I was like, okay, it's not so bad. That was just an accident that happens. And, just bouncing back. It's all about mindset, guys. If your mindset is good and you guys have confidence with your ability to trade, you guys should be perfectly fine. And you guys should be able to kill it with pretty much every move that you guys take. It's really all about trade psychology and confidence because you guys do have strategies here that work perfectly fine. And obviously you can see that they're working as we execute them. So other than that, let me see this over here. Okay, so let's see. I think that's it for right here right now. Isai has a question. So Isai is asking, why didn't I enter early? Because there was no entry earlier, Isai. So Isai said that buy stop saved your ass on because that US 30 dump. I mean, it didn't really save my ass because it was already set at that position, right? I knew it was going to go to that position. That's why I had my TP set. So it didn't necessarily save my ass because the thing is, I already knew it was going to go there. So I entered the trade at the buy stop and then it closed me out. the profit target saved my ass. I think that's what you're confused with, because the TP is what saved my ass. Because the thing is, if I didn't have a TP there, then I would have been caught in this spike to the downside. Not necessarily the buy stop, but it was the profit target that saved me because it pulled me out. That's why I have the green lines right here. Whenever I have the green lines, this means that a TP triggers my exit, and then I pull out with a profit target. These stops right here mean that it's like a stop loss that I moved in profit, or I just got stopped out. For this one right here, I made profit. So what happened was I put my stop loss in profit, and then when it came back down, it closed me out. But this was technically like heavily in profit otherwise. Yeah, Dean said sometimes I don't want to have a TP, but it really does save you sometimes. No, 100%. That's why I've learned over the years that it's good to have a TP. A lot of people don't like having TPs because, you know, you get greedy and you just want to go for a bigger profit. But in a lot of instances, it does save you. Like this, for example, like just what Isai said, right? If I didn't have a TP there, I would have gone burnt because this thing dropped super heavily. I for sure would have gone stopped out if I didn't have a TP there. So it's just key, guys. You know, sometimes you guys have to like take L's to learn from this stuff. Like for myself in the beginning, I didn't use TPs either. I used to do the same thing where I would just trail my stop, but I started to realize that a lot of my losses happened because I got greedy by not having a TP set in place. Now that I have a TP, I don't really have a choice, right? I enter the trade, it hits my TP, I'm out of the trade. I mean, I can technically adjust it, but for me personally, I just let it hit. Like if it hits my TP, then I'm on to the next one. Especially if you're scalping. All right. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else here for me to look at. It's about 7:30 right now. So I might be done looking for trades. Let me just look at the fundamentals real quick. So looking at retail sentiment, it's currently 74% short. Looking at the average for today, it's not even moving at all. It's kind of just down the middle. It's 1 point in the green, which is probably going to swing in the red soon. 3 points in the green. Refreshing this right here. Currently looking at the Dow 30 index. It's just right down the middle. No clear bias right now. Looking at the futures data. Futures data is currently 57 points in the green right now. So yeah, I mean, for the most part, a lot of the stuff here is pretty much, I mean, it's bullish. It's pointing bullish for the most part, but it's not very strong. So for me personally, I'm still looking for buys here. I'm not looking for any sells. I'm just waiting for this to, you know, swing back up to the buy side. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. So I think I might be done trading for the day, but I will be looking at the question. So if I see something come up, then I'll take the trade. However, I'm going to go through the Zoom right now and I'm going to answer all the questions here. So let me just scroll up real quick and see. Raf said, would you take 1 minute buy? What are you talking about, Rav? Oh, if it would come. Okay. I was like, because I wasn't sure what you're talking about because there's no 1 minute buy here. And we took the 1 minute buy over here. I don't know. Well, the thing is, if the buy comes down here, it's not going to be a buy, Rav, because it has to close above here, right? So if it does come, maybe, but I don't necessarily, like, I'm not, like, we would need it to close above here, Rav, and that's a big push. So I might not even take, even if it does close above here, I might not take it because what might happen is it's going to come up to this Asia high right here. And yeah, just like I mentioned right there, Rav. So it didn't close above the pivot, so there's no entry. So even if it did close above here, I probably wouldn't have taken it because it might reject off this Asia high right here. So the thing is, if it was to come up to this point, see how close it is to the Asia high, I still wouldn't have taken it because it would have bounced off. It could have bounced off here, not necessarily would have, but it could have bounced off that point. So no entry off that right now. I'll mark this up right here and I'll go through the questions and just answer what everyone has here. So let me scroll up to the top. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody's question. If I do miss your question throughout all of these questions that I'm answering, just put your question back in the chat and I'll get to it because I do have enough time here to go over everything. All right, so the first question was from Dean. Dean's asking, do you always put your SR zones when scalping? So I think I answered that question already, but just to reiterate, I don't use the SR zones on the lower timeframes because there's too much noise. I generally use it on the higher timeframes, like the 10-minute and anything above that. Jared's asking, what are your time frames for the trend meter input? Mine is different than yours. So Jared, for scalping, for your trend meter, I just have it set the same as chart. So if you go down to your settings right here, if you're trading on the 1 minute, 3 minute, or 10 minute for scalping, I just have it all set the same as chart, because the thing is the default settings are going to be intraday settings. So this is the intraday overall trend. If you're just scalping, just set it the same as chart, and it's going to give you the trend for this specific time frame if you're trading on the 1 minute or anything above that. So that's the settings that you would have for that specifically. Scrolling down further, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Sisuk said, just to be aware, this week, many of the earnings being released are in the Dow 30. Oh, 100%, Sisuk. Thanks for reminding us. Yeah. See if there's anything else here. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with your thing, Rick, with your MT4. You might want to just reinstall it. That might help. Just uninstall and then reinstall it. Maybe your program is probably messed up, because I've never seen that before where it's oh, Jose said you might have been closed out of your account. So Rick, I don't know, maybe never mind. I'm looking at your questions right here. You might want to just reinstall the MT4, Rick, because I don't know. I've never seen that issue before. Or I'm just reading the messages here. Isaiah said, crazy how US 30 came up and everything dumped. Waiting for the bottom. Dean said, was waiting for that bottom. We see this every single day. Yeah, that's exactly what I wait for too every day, Dean. That's why, like, this whole morning, I wasn't taking any trades and I was waiting for it to bottom out and then push to the upside, because I had a feeling it was going to come up. You know, everything was pointing towards the upside. So I had a feeling it was going to come up. Looking at the fundamentals here, it's currently up 8 points, still not very strong. Looking at the fundamentals data or the futures data, it's currently up 10 points, not very strong at all either. Looking at the actual stock index right here, this is, I mean, it's just right down the middle. There's nothing really biased about it. Looking at the retail sentiment, currently 73% short, so it's not very strong one way or the other. I mean, this market is kind of just trash right now. It's not really moving too much. A lot of these moves are just, you know, small moves. They're not really anything too crazy. Nice. So CJ said, held it and trailed my profits. Nice work, CJ. Probably locked in some nice profit off that. Main said, can't wait for that high-low momentum pivot. Is slowing down for me. Yeah, no, definitely. It'll help a lot once you guys have access to it. Lisa said, I hear you. If I don't pass this challenge, I'm off and taking a holiday. Oh, no, definitely. Garish is asking, it's a repeat Q, if not FTMO, what are the other brokers used to trade? I mean, there's a lot of different brokers, Garish. So I'm kind of confused with your question here, because your question said, sorry if it's a repeat question. Okay, sorry if it's a repeat question. Sorry, I got that mixed up. If it's not FTMO, what are the brokers used to trade US 30? You can use Hugo's Way, you can use CoinEx, you can use IC Markets. I mean, it just depends on where you're located, Garish. There's a lot of different brokers you can use. A lot of people here use Hugo's Way. That's like one of the main brokers that people use for the personal trading. Other people use IC Markets if you're located other than the US. I know they don't accept US clients, but I heard they're a good broker. So if you're outside of the US, IC Markets might be a good option for you. But I mean, it just really depends on your preference. If you want to trade on TradingView, then you have to use a broker like TradeStation. You can look at the brokers here. If you go on the website for, I don't have it right here, but if you go on the TradingView website, there's like a button for brokers and it'll show you exactly which ones carry it. However, you'd be trading the future. So you'd be trading YM versus a US 30. It's the same thing. It's just a different symbol. You're just going to be trading the actual future, not the indice. Let me scroll down a little bit. There's a little more questions here. Let's see. Sorry, so I missed your question. Your question was at 707 US. Hey, Shawn, why is it not a valid sell for us on US 30? I'm not sure if are you listening to the Zoom site? Because I've been explaining like why I'm not taking sells here. The reason I'm not taking sells is because retail sentiment is so heavily short right now. It's 73% short, and you don't want to be trading where everyone else is trading. So that's the main reason why I'm not taking any shorts. Also, the fundamentals here are bullish. So yeah, I'm not sure. Are you like familiar with like what we've been analyzing? It's like, so I want to make sure that we're like on the same page here because you've been with K2 for a while. So I want to make sure that you actually understand like why we're not taking certain trades in one direction or the other. Because if you go down the list, like the first thing I go down is fundamentals, right? It's green, so I'm not going to take any sells. Second on the list is retail sentiment. It's very short. So all the retail traders are short right now. So I'm not taking any sells off that specifically. The technicals are the last thing I look at. Just because you see a sell on here doesn't mean I'm going to take a sell, right? I look at everything else to make sure I'm trading in the proper direction. So like, for example, here, if you took any of these sells here, you would have lost every single trade. No, not everyone. You would have won this one right here, but you would have lost this one, and you might have won this one possibly. And this one over here would have been a maybe as well. But the thing is, you don't want to trade. You're like standing in front of a speeding train, right? For example, if momentum's so strong in one direction, you don't want to be trading against it. So that's why I personally don't trade. I'm not looking for any sells right now, because what I'm looking for here is like they're trying to bottom out. They're trying to lure in some more sellers. That's why they keep spiking price to the downside, because this number here is going to increase. When this number increases higher and higher to like 75, 76, 77%, then you're probably going to expect a big spike to the upside over here. So I just want to make sure we're on the same page. It's like, so I want to make sure that you like do well this time around with your new account, right? I want to make sure that you like, there's no more mistakes being made, because you know, I know that you need it more than ever right now. To you know, you need that confidence boost to like just pass your FTMO and get funded and all that stuff. You know, we've already talked about this before. So just want to make sure that you're on point with your analysis and whatnot. All right, so I just passed through C6 question there. Duggan said UK did something similar today. Isai said, were those both not entries on the high low? If I didn't take the trade, then no, they weren't entries off it, Isai. Because I took the ones that I saw. If I didn't see anything there, then I wouldn't have taken it. Scott's asking, how do you set a buy stop at MT4? So on MT4, you just need to right click on your chart. And then if you click on set sell limit, or I mean, go to trading. Actually, yeah, that's a better idea. So if you go to your MT4, right click on your chart, I would drag it over here, but I can't. The only thing I can drag over is my depth of market. So I can't really drag my entire, I think it's like locked into this screen. But what you would do is you just right click, go to trading, go to new order, and then volume would be your lot size. And then under type, you can pick what type of order you want. There's market execution, there's pending order. And if you do a pending order, for your pending order type, you can change that to a buy stop, buy limit, sell stop, whatever order type you want. And that's how you would set the order for you. So guys, if you guys have problems with MT4, I don't know why my computer doesn't let me pull it over. But if you guys need help with anything regarding MT4, just go to YouTube and type in MT4, right? Here, let me just type it over here. Because if you guys have any questions with MT4, I'm probably not the guy to ask, because I'm not even good with MT4 myself. You can just go to YouTube, type in MetaTrader 4, and there's a whole bunch of guides here. So if you need help with MT4, anything specific, just you know, look on YouTube, and there's a ton of videos here. Like this is pretty much the video that I learned how to use MT4 with by this guy, Blue Edge Financial. It says how to use MT4 for beginners. That's what I use, and that's everything that he taught. Well, not even everything, just the basics, how to enter and exit trades. That's how I learned how to do it off this video. So if you guys have questions off MT4, just go on YouTube or Google it or something like that. I'm probably the worst person to ask about MT4, because I only know the bare basics off MT4. So other than that, let me scroll down a little bit and see if I missed anything else. Isai said these wild liquefy zones since last week. No, exactly. There's a lot of liquidity because we're getting close to the all-time high, and there was a lot of news last week as well. Let's see. Next question here is from CJ. He's asking, how do you automatic TP on your broker? I needed that for the 1 minute scalp. So CJ, if you're using MT4, if you right click on your MT4, click on depth of market, and you'll get this tool that comes up right here. Sorry, let me see if I can drag this over. You'll get this tool right here. Basically in the middle right here, you have your lot size. Right here, you'll have your stop loss. If you want a 300 pip stop loss, you put 3,000 there. And right here, you have your TP. If you want a 100 pip TP, you'll just put 1,000 there, because it's in, I don't know what is it. It's like in like micros. So that's how you would have access to it. And that's pretty much how I enter my trade. So like, for example, here, when I took that buy there, well, I didn't put it off this, but I had a pending order. But for example, if I was going to enter a buy or a sell right here, then I would just, if I was going for 100 pips, I would just hit buy here. It would automatically enter my buy, and then it automatically set my TP and stop loss up there for me. And that's how you would set it up on MT4. Let's see, Duggan said Monday last week hit me hard for 10K in Asia sessions, totally in the wrong mindset, waking up and attacking the charts. I have these days every 2 or 3 months where your ego gets too big. No, exactly, Duggan. I've been there before too. So, you always want to trade with a clear mind, guys. You want to trade with a clear mind and with your confidence on point. If you guys are entering trades scared, you're probably not going to do so well because you're going to close out your trades too early, or you're going to hold on to them too late. So something to keep in mind. And let's see, for this one right here, guys, I think, Rav, you're probably looking for a buy right here. If you're looking for a buy right here, I'd probably be careful because like I mentioned, the Asia high is right here. So even if you get a buy signal at this point, I could already kind of tell that you're probably looking for this buy right here. If you get a buy at that point, price might come and just reject off here. So what you want to make sure is that your TP is going to be below or below this here. And it's not going to, right? Your TP is going to be like right there if you take the buy. And the last thing you want to do is enter this trade. It gets really close to your TP and it just rejects off it. So I wouldn't recommend taking this right here, even if it does look like a good trade. I mean, if you want to take it, it's really up to you, Rav, but just understand the risk right here, that if price gets close to this Asia high, it might just bounce off. Or if it closes above it, then even better, then you can take the trade. But if it doesn't, then it's probably gonna be a risky trade here. So you can see right there, it's at the Asia high. It's probably gonna break above it or it's gonna come back down. I'm not sure if you took it, Rav, but you probably would have taken, there you go. So full TP off that. I didn't take the trade, but like I was saying, this would have been risky for me because I didn't want it to bounce off this point right here. Rav said, LOL, I was okay, man. You can read me. Yeah, no, definitely, Rav. I know you're probably looking for that trade right there. I don't know if you took it, but I'm just being careful for you, Rav, because I want you to pass your FTMO as well. So whenever I see risky trades, I'm not going to hint that you guys should like take the trade. But you can see right here that it does work sometimes, right? For me, I'm a conservative trader. I don't like to lose trades at all. So that's why I wouldn't have taken it, even though it would have hit TP here. Looks like some people did take it. Eunice took it, I think. So Eunice actually took the trade, even though I was telling him it was risky. He locked in a total of 1,306, and then his other account 294. Nice work, Eunice. So Eunice took the trade. He said a 10K account, too much risk today, done for the day. So yeah, Eunice, great work right there. He actually took the trade that we were looking at, and he made profit off it. So great work right there, Eunice. RJ over here is currently up 4,097 for the day. Great work, RJ. Scrolling up over here, we got, so that's it right here. Narith. So Narith is currently up, was like 14K for the day. Damn, okay, crazy. So it's crazy because Narith here is trading stocks too. So he's trading Tesla and all that stuff. He made about 7,000 off that trade. And then in total, he's about like up 14K for the day. So great work right there, Narith. A lot of people didn't realize that you can trade stocks off FTMO, and you can. So like, for example, if you're a good stock trader, like Narith here, Narith is like, he's traditionally a stock trader. So he trades stocks traditionally. And he, with a big lot size from FTMO, like you have a 200K count, 400K count, you can take big trades like this. So Narith took it, made a huge profit off Tesla. So great work right there, Narith. Cheryl as well. Cheryl is currently up 2,000 actually. So 2,200 right now across both of her accounts. Great work, Cheryl. All right, guys, great work so far. Let me see if there's any other questions here before I wrap it up for the day. It's 7:45 right now, so I'm usually off by 8, but I'll answer whatever questions I can get before we get off for this session. So let me scroll up a little bit. Henry said, if you have multiple contracts in YM, would you trail a stop? I rarely trail a stop ever, Henry. I mean, you can if you want. I mean, if that's what you like to do, then you can do it. But for me personally, I never trail a stop. I always have a TP. The only time I trail a stop is if I'm taking a speculative trade, which is very rare. The The only time I would do that was something like yesterday. So for example, yesterday, let me just go over here. So yesterday I took a buy during Asia session. So what was it? It was like right here on the 24th, I think. Yeah. So during Asia session right here, I saw this starting to push up to this way, right? So what happened was I entered a buy around this point, and then I put a trailing stop right here. So as price came up, it just kept trailing it, right? And then it came back down and then it stopped me out. So you can see right here for the second trade right here, it has a red line next to it, right? Because it stopped me out, but it stopped me out in profit because what happened was I entered the buy here and I just trailed the stop and it just trailed it. I manually trailed it. So I actually didn't even trail it till like over here. What I did was I trailed it when it came down to here. So price came up here and then I noticed it right here. So what happened, or actually, so this is what happened. I actually started from like way down here. And then as price pushed up, so I use a small lot size where, I mean, a regular in my case, it pushed up to here. And then I moved my stop loss to here. And then as price pushed up to here and came back down here, I moved my stop loss to here. And then what happened was it came back up and I thought I was going to keep pushing up. So I was going to move my stop loss higher, but I didn't. And as soon as it dropped right here, it stopped me out. And that's why for this trade right here, it has a red bar next to it because it stopped me on profit. But I rarely trail my stop. I always use a stop loss unless it's a speculative trade. For example, here, I didn't have any target to reach. I was just pushing to wherever price was going. But if I'm scalping, I don't ever trail my stop loss. And I never have multiple positions up. I just have one at a time. So what I never recommend anyone do multiple positions like that, because if you're hedging and you don't know how to hedge properly, you can easily blow your account if you have too many accounts or too many positions running and you're over leveraging. So for me personally, I never trail my stop. What I do is I just use a TP stop loss unless I'm speculating a trade. All right, other than that, let me scroll down a little bit. Duggan's asking, hey, Shawn, any opinion on GU and AU? I think they're both a buy. So let me just pull that up real quick. Man, guys, I haven't looked at Forex pairs and I can't even remember how long. Like, I really can't remember. So we'll look at AU real quick for Duggan. Wow, this is crazy. So Duggan, check this out. This markup that I drew, I haven't been on here since September. So the last time I drew this markup was back in September, and it came right back up. So I haven't drawn any of these zones in like over a month. Yeah, so over a month, these zones were drawn back on September 29, or whenever I drew it. Yeah, September 29, about a month ago. I drew these zones and price came all the way back up. So it does look like a buy right now, Duggan. And the reason for that is because price broke the structure. It came back for a retest. And then it looks like it's bouncing off the structure to push back up higher. The trend meter is currently blue right now, so it's indecisive. However, the pivots are indicating that it's pushing to the upside. So it does look like a buy right now off AU. Going over to GU down here. GU is kind of just bouncing around. So like last time, same situation here. Last time I drew these zones here for GU was back on September 28th when we entered this trade right here. So we entered this trade for a full TP. That's the last time I looked at GU. It came back up and then it retested the same zones that we drew way back then. So looking at current price right now for GU, this looks like it's currently, I mean, it's indecisive right now, right? Because it's right down the middle. It's in the middle of the pivots. However, what can happen here is price can easily bounce off these zones and these pivots right here and then bounce right back up. So that's kind of what could happen there. AU looks more like a buy. However, GU, obviously it's going to follow AU. So if AU is going up, if all the USD pairs are going up, then it's probably going to be bullish. So AU is bullish. EU is, I mean, it's spiked down right here. This is kind of messy. I wouldn't mess with EU right now. GU is looking like it's going to bounce back up. And NU is very bullish as well. Lastly, looking USD Cad, these would have to be bearish. So these are pushing bearish. Just looking at this right here, looks like the dollar is pretty weak. So looking at GU right here, if this pushes up, the dollar is weak. So it's probably going to push up higher. Same with AU over here. Looks like it's going to go up even higher. So yeah, for the most part, it looks good. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing before we continue on. Oh man, I totally missed this trade right here. So the same trade right here that we looked at, RAV, I should have entered this one because I didn't realize that it broke this high low right here. So this high right here, this candle actually broken. I could have taken that for a buy right there, and I could have kept riding it up, but it's okay. I mean, we missed the trade, but I was answering questions at that moment. So, all right, let me wrap these questions. So I think I'm done for trading today. Let me just go over here real quick, see if there's anything else filling down lower. Okay, perfect. Professor posted a picture of MFF spreads in the K2 premium chat. So if you guys want to see what the spreads look like, the professor here put it in. So thanks, bro. Appreciate that, professor. CJ say, can you go back and show what you're clicking on when you go to the futures? Back to the other screen on the CNBC site. I'm trying to figure out what your question was right there, CJ. So your question is, can you go back and show what you're clicking on when you go from futures? So if you guys are looking for the daily average right here, this right here, the specific page, when you go on the CNBC website, just click on US. This is going to give you the average. So this is going to be this page right here. If you're looking for futures, you go to pre-market, and then it'll say Dow future right there. You click on that, and that will give you the futures data just like we have right here. So that's how you get those two right there, CJ. Hopefully that answers your question with that. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. It's looking very bullish now. So as you guys can see, this is pretty much what we were waiting for, right? I mentioned that US 30 was going to be bullish eventually, and now it's pushing pretty strong bullish. Price came down, faked people out, shot back up, faked out again, shot back up, faked out again, and now it's pushing up to the upside. Because this is where I see price going for the rest of the week. Pretty much bullish. So I'm glad everything kind of played out in our favor. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Al said, good morning. Is it possible for you to analyze the trade from one of the members to take multiple trades a day like C-Suit? Sorry, I'm kind of confused with your question. What is your question? Al, are you still here? Let me see. So Al said, good morning. Is it possible for you to analyze the trade of one of your members that take, I mean, we all take multiple trades, Al. I take multiple trades. I mean, I took like 5 trades today that's just using the strategy. I'm kind of trying to figure out like what you mean by that. Because the thing is, I can't analyze the trade if it's not my strategy or something that I'm not familiar with, Al. So you would have to ask the specific person, because I don't know exactly what he's applying. I'm pretty sure he's applying the K2 strategy, so I don't think there's anything really different. But you'd have to, I mean, you have to ask that person, because I don't even know what to analyze. If there was something that I could analyze that I knew what to analyze, then I could. But the thing is that if people are posting profits, I don't know what they're taking, right? There's like a lot of people here who take like multiple trades, like Andy here. He takes like all these trades here, but I don't know what he's taking, right? Like everybody's kind of taking something different. So unless there's a chart that's posted and available, then I can analyze it. But I don't really see anyone post any charts here. It's mostly just, profits like this, because I can't just like see where they took the trade and then understand where they, where they were. So you probably want to ask that person. If you want to understand what that person is doing, then you want to, and yeah, if you're talking about Sisu, he is applying the strategies because he's an admin. So he's applying the K2 strategies. But yeah, you might want to ask him specifically, because I don't think he's really applying anything different. It's just he's just taking more entries. Yeah, no problem, Al. Yeah, no, there's no problem. You don't need to be sorry. It's just I don't know what people are applying, because there's other people here who take a lot of trades, but I don't know exactly what they're doing unless they're sharing a chart. If they share a chart, then we can analyze it. If not, then you probably want to ask them, and then we can probably go over it if they can share a chart with you. All right, so let's see. Anything else over here? See if I miss anything else. All right, Kennard's asking, can you use the K2 pivot strategy in Asia market, or do you only use the high-low strategy? I use all the strategies all throughout the session, all throughout all sessions, Kennard. They don't necessarily work as good during Asia session because they're momentum strategies. So if the momentum's low during Asia session, then you're probably not going to find very many entries, but they do apply throughout all sessions. It just depends on like when you're trading it. You just have to make sure you're not trading it during like times where market's just completely flat or when it's ranging. All of these strategies are trend based. So they're based off trend and momentum. If there's no trend and there's no momentum, then there's not going to be any entries for you to take. But if there is, then there's no problem with entering it. So what I would recommend is if you want to apply it yourself, then go back and back test it to see if it's working, or just back test it for that specific session, right? Just go back and see if anything was hitting throughout that Asia session. And if it's been hitting, then obviously, it's obviously working during that time. What I would just recommend is to actually back test a little bit to see if it's actually working during that period. Because the thing is, I don't really trade very much during Asian market. The only reason I started trading Asian market recently is because I'm testing the new strategy and the new indicator. That's the only reason I'm trading during Asia session, because before I traded everything else during Asia session as well. But currently right now, I'm only testing it. The thing is, I have to test this strategy through all conditions and through all sessions to see, if it's actually good. Because the thing is, if it's only working during one session, it's not going to be good, right? I need to test it under all conditions, under all sessions, under all, and anything that can come up, basically. I just want to try it to make sure that it's still good during all market conditions before I release it to you guys. Because if it's not, then there's no point in me releasing it to you guys, because it's probably going to cause more harm than benefit. So you can use anything that you want. All the strategies work for all sessions. You just have to go and test it yourself to confirm that it's working during that period, especially if you're not able to identify whether it's what type of markets we're in. Because it's easy if you just zoom out. Like, say, for example, here, I'm going to zoom out over here. So Asia session yesterday, right? You want to look at Asia session, for example, right here. This is Asia session. You don't want to trade right here because price is consolidating. You do want to trade here because price is trending and there's momentum, right? There's certain periods where you don't want to trade. You don't want to trade here. You want to trade here, right? You don't want to trade here. You want to trade here. You don't want to trade here. You want to trade here. So this is all Asia session. This is Asia session from open up until an hour later. You don't want to trade within this area. An hour into the market, it's trending. So you want to trade, you can trade right there if you want to apply a pivot strategy. Right here, again, an hour later. So 1 hour it's ranging, 1 hour it's trending, 1 hour it's ranging, 1 hour it's trending, and it goes back into a range right here. So that's like something that you want to look at when you're deciding whether you want to apply the strategies or not, because the strategies work in all sessions. It's just, you have to understand how the market's actually moving before you execute. All right. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else here for me to look at. Scrolling down. Yeah, sure, Si. Just message me if you have any other questions about that. CJ figured that out. Sam said, "Hey, Shawn, I've set all my sessions indicator to the new settings and aligned with yours last week. However, this week is off. My London high." So Sam, if the only issue with your high-low sessions high-low indicator is for today, that's because it's a brand new week. So you got to let a whole day go through before it stabilizes. Because the thing is, it's still confused with like last week's highs. So, because I did notice that too, Sam. So I noticed it on my end as well. Where was it? Yeah, I did notice the Asia high over here. Let's go on this chart. So we'll turn this on over here, the sessions high-low. Now I have to update the settings. So let me save these as default. Let me see if I can refresh this here. Yeah, because I did notice that too, Sam. Yeah, you're not the only one. So, damn it. I was trying to fix it, but I can't. Here, let me go back over here real quick. 311. I'll just set it up myself. Yeah, it's usually kind of iffy on the market open until like there's like a full day that's gone through, because I did notice that too with the London, because London should have been lower. 3 o'clock. 8 and 16. All right, so yeah, looking at this right here. Actually, no, this is right. Wait, so Sam, could you tell me like where it was off on yours? Because I did notice that there was one that was missing here, but I just realized that it overlaps into this time here because this is still London session. So this is the actual low here. So I was wrong. I was actually I thought that the number was supposed to be here because this is when London opened, but it overlaps into this session over here. So technically this would still run into this time here for London. So Sam, if you're still here, if you can give me like the details as to like what, here, let me see. Okay, so let me go back to your question. You said, however, this week's off. My London high is at 35,715 and my Asia high is at, let me see. So at that specific time, Sam, that was the high. Let me see, because your message was, or I don't know if yours updated. Yours probably have updated. Okay, yeah. Because I think it was updating during that time, Sam. So when you sent the message right here around 7, it was trying to figure out where the high was because you see the high was established here. So before time got over here, this was a previous high at 757 or 35715. And then when you sent that message, it was trying to establish the new high right here. So it's just that it was updating when you were mentioning it. So it's kind of hard to figure out when the session is still running. Like for example, London session was still running. So that's why it was updating while you were messaging. But yeah, so it makes sense. Okay, so actually the indicator is fine. I just need to figure out to fix a way to fix that. But yeah, thanks for letting me know, Sam, because I was confused for a second there as well. And I'm glad that we got that all figured out. All right, so I'm going to get through the rest of the Zoom questions. We're like way past my live session time, usually off by 8, but I'll stay around and I'll answer the rest of the questions here. So let me see what other questions we have over here. All right, so Donnie said, would you have taken that 3-minute? So let me go to the 3-minute over here. If you're talking about this right here, Donnie, I probably wouldn't have taken it. And the reason for that is because it's at the London high. So yeah, I wouldn't have taken this right here because the thing is, if you're looking to cash this trade right here, you don't want to get caught in the area where it's close to the London high. So I know this London high was just established, but the previous London high was right here. So it would have been the same thing. I wouldn't have taken that because what would happen is price would come to this area here, whether it be here or whether it be there, you know, one of these lines here, and then it would bounce off. So I wouldn't have taken, that's exactly what happened here. So like say, for example, here, because that London high was actually below at first, or hasn't updated, but now that it's updated, from this point right here, this is the previous London high. And then it updated to this point because it pushed up a little higher. So I wouldn't have taken this trade specifically because the London high would have been triggered off this point right here. Even though it broke above it, it came right back down. So I personally wouldn't have taken that specific trade right there, even if it came up at that specific time. You know what I'm looking for here? I'm looking for the daily entry off the 3-minute. Let me see if it actually played out because we've been trying to look at this lately. Looks like this will flop. Yeah, this one would have flopped. But we would have taken the sell anyways because we were already anticipating the move to the upside. So just confirming that there. The snipe's still running perfectly fine. So if I'm not sure who's in the snipe entry, it looks okay for right now, but I'm not in the trade. That was just something that we marked up for, I forgot who we marked it up for T-God. So T-God, I think you're still in the position as well. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. There's a buy here that just came up, but I missed it. It's too late for me to enter it. Yeah, I'm not going to enter it late. Yeah, there's a couple entries here that I missed actually. There's the variation to the high-low scalp right there. That would have been a quick full profit right there. Another scalp right here off this one. Let's see. It's too late. I was trying to catch it as it swung back down. I was waiting for it to pull back a little bit. And I was gonna put a buy stop there, but it's too late. Fucking hit TP already. Damn. That's my bad. I wish I would have caught that one. The reason why this one right here looked good is because we had the double rejection off this point. That would have been another entry right there, and then a double entry again right there. Yeah, I missed both of the moves right there. It's okay. All right, guys. So let me finish the rest of these questions, and I'm probably gonna log off because I'm kind of burned out for this morning. Let's see. All right, scroll down lower. Delmas said still doing the mentoring session this week. So I'm probably going to have a mentoring session, but I'm not sure if this strategy is ready to be released yet, because the problem with this is like I've been getting messages from people who are trying to figure out what the TP stop loss is, and it's just throwing me off because I already have a TP stop loss that's kind of set. I was going to use this one right here, but I think this needs to be tested a little more further. So we're probably going to have the mentoring session this week, but I don't think this is going to be released to you guys this week yet. And we might need another week for me to test further what the TP stop loss should be. The Asia session is the main problem. I think New York session is fine. We can just use the normal TP stop loss, but Asia session is where a lot of confusion arises because the session is different, right? The volatility is different unless like I just release it to you guys and I don't give you guys any details for the Asia session and that's going to be another problem because I already know, even though I don't give you guys details, I'm going to get a million questions from you guys asking what are the TP stop loss for Asia session, even though I don't have it set up yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep testing it this week. I'll still have the mentoring session, but for the specific strategy, I don't think this is going to be released this week just yet. Next week probably is going to be a better time once I have, more testing done. But it's just, I don't want to release something to you guys before it's ready because I don't want you guys to be making mistakes and then losing trades when there should be no problem there, right? Because you guys have seen my trades here. Like literally all my trades are like if you guys saw my trades from last week, literally they're all wins. I had no losses last week, and I've been applying the strategy all throughout Asia session, all throughout New York session, like pretty much every single day. Like this was right here, guys. I made like 10,000 in Asia session because I had no losses, literally just kept trading it. But the problem is a lot of people keep coming at me with like the randomest questions. So I have to figure out exactly what the TP stop loss is going to be before I release it to you guys, because I don't want to get bombarded with more questions before and then end up releasing the strategy earlier than I should. So hopefully by next week, but I'm probably going to be doing the mentoring session this week still. Scott's asking, Shawn, is Hugo's Way reliable on Bitcoin withdrawals? I see it's the only option. Is that correct? I haven't had any issues with them before. They usually take like a day or two. I mean, depending on like if you've done it before with them, usually my stuff's like after a day, I get it. So I haven't had any issues with withdrawals with Hugo's Way myself. I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, I personally haven't had any issues with withdrawals from FTMO. I mean, not FTMO, from Hugo's Way. All right, guys. So that's it for the questions here. I don't see anything else here on the Zoom. So I think that's going to be it for this session. I'm like way off my time. I'm usually off by 8, but I hung out here with you guys for a little bit longer just to answer your questions. So hopefully that helps out with a lot of your questions here, guys. If you guys do have any more questions, feel free to let me know. Let's see, Donnie has one more question here. He said, is there a general time frame that you look at Dow during Asia session? I only trade during the 1 minute. Mainly all my trades are taken off the 1 minute, Donnie, because the volatility on the Asia session is really low. So the problem with that is I use a half TP. So instead of going for 100 pips, I usually go for like 50 pips. I go for something smaller because the spread's wide and volatility is low. So that's why I would go like half, but I need to test it more and then figure it out. So I think that's it, guys. So yeah, no problem, Patricia. Glad you locked in some profits today. Glad everyone locked in some more profits. If you guys have more profits to send in, just post them in the group here, and then I will update them for you. So let's see. Maddie said just woke up. So Maddie just woke back up and he missed like 2 trades. So this he's all sad. It's all good. More trades are going to be coming. RJ here is now up 5,273. Great work, RJ. If you guys have more profit to send over, go ahead and send them over and I'll add them to the list to be posted later. Otherwise, if you guys have questions, feel free to message me on Telegram or email me. Let's see. I have about 800 emails from the weekend. So if you guys messaged me over the weekend or emailed me and I haven't gone back to you, don't worry. I will be messaging you guys back either today or tomorrow at the latest. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will catch you guys back here for tomorrow.